Hey guys, I'm Melody,
And I'm Nicole.
and welcome back to another episode of Double Take.
Episode 5. And I'm going to keep counting until we get to 10, probably. I'm not going to go to like 50,
Oh my
60.
god.
I'm going
Our
to do
mom
10.
our mom, well, she called me like yesterday and she was like, how many times is Miguel gonna count in the
Like, are you
beginning of
going
the
to keep
episode?
counting? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to keep counting until
10.
10.
I
I feel
think
like
10 is valid.
10 is like, that's good. I feel like I'm not going to be like episode 30,
30,
episode 30.
yeah.
Like, hopefully we get up to that point. But yeah, so episode 5.
I want to start with you. How's your week been? Because I know you kind of been going through it with school. As we
God.
all have been like going through it with school because it's the time where it's like slow sailing to like the end of the semester. So it's
Oh
like
my God. So
bad.
let's keep in mind it is 4:57, almost 5 p.m. I ran after my class to film this. I literally went to sleep yesterday at like 2:30 a.m. I had a paper to write and I had a 10-minute presentation to prepare for. I found out very late last night, pretty much while I was like 50% done with my paper, that the paper was due in 2+ weeks. It's due on April 21st.
How did you not notice
Because
that?
we had to go to this virtual
Oh yeah,
conference. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
political science conference about leadership. And I assumed the conference was from April 4th to April 5th. Okay, I watched the conference, got my notes down, everything. I assumed that we had to hand in a hard copy of the paper based on the presentations and the keynote speakers. I thought
Mhm.
it was due on Monday, like when we had class.
Mhm.
But then I found out I was doing the 21st. And I'm like, okay.
I'd be
So
tight. I'd
I
be so
wasted
mad.
hours that I could have put towards the 10-minute speech I actually had that was due today. So that. But I also spent a lot of time working on my 10-minute presentation, which I feel like my presentation was really good. But the funniest
Mm.
part is that I didn't actually go today.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no, and the
I'd
thing is,
be. Oh
I
my
was slated to
god.
go today. I literally told the professor, "Can I go today?" Like, she was saying, like, "Who doesn't want to go? Who wants to
Whew.
go?" I was already on the list to go to the today for the first half of class. I was already on the list to
Yeah.
go. I'm like, okay, I want to keep my spot to go today because I'm prepared. The clock is ticking. We're getting close to the end of class, and then I'm the last person, right?
You should have
So I
known
go,
when
no,
when
no,
the
no,
clock
no.
is ticking. I'm like, I'm not going today.
I go in front of the class. She tries to load my presentation. It won't load. I'm like, I told her, oh, can I send it to you on email then? She's like, okay, we can't waste time, so can someone else go? I'm like, oh my
Oh, I'd
God.
be so sad.
Another thing I prepared for that, didn't need to do. So, but
But it might be a
anyways,
blessing in disguise. Maybe you'll present even better in next class. So,
yeah, I'm doing like a
yes.
presentation about, not that y'all probably care, but I think it's interesting.
No, I probably
I'm
care.
talking about over policing in San Bernardino. I'm doing case studies, like analytical data, stuff like that to like support my findings. And we have to basically do a policy brief. I think it's a 10-page paper actually. So we had to do an intro presentation, which we did like a month ago. Now we have to do a 10-minute presentation of our findings. And
And
then
you
we do a
haven't started a
paper.
10-page brief, and we
No,
begin in school soon.
yeah, no one
Oh
started
my
it.
god.
So the 10-minute presentation was about that, and I basically did a proposal policy of like what I would like to see happen, like legislative change
Mhm.
to like prevent over policing in San Bernardino. I think I think it's good, but we'll have to wait and see until it's done. But I think my proposal is pretty good, so I'm doing fine though. How about you?
Um, I've been good, but I feel like I'm in that point of the semester where I'm like, we're juniors, kind of like sad that we
Mm.
have only one more year of
Uh,
school.
and now at this point, it's not even
I
like
don't
a
know.
year and a half. It's like 1 year left. It's like
Yeah,
like 1 year and 6 months. It's like one exact year
yeah.
left.
And my thing is like, I'm totally in the same boat as other students who are going through a lot academically in terms of like having so much homework, having how much projects, just having so much exams. But at the same time, I can't help but feel sad that like, oh, we're in April. It means that we're literally going to be seniors in a few
Oh
months.
no.
Like that's insane to me because it feels like it feels like we just entered junior year and like we like just like moved in all that stuff. And two, it's like it feels like we just started college. Like I think I mentioned this like 500
So many
times in the podcast,
times.
but like seriously, I don't know.
It's so like it's definitely, yeah, it's sad. And also at the same time, I feel like at least from what I see from our senior friends, senior year is really less of like what experience you have and more so preparing for post
Yeah,
grad. So this is
100%.
kind of the last year we kind of have to like have a school life kind of thing and like the whole social aspect.
I think a lot of seniors, if anything, feel kind of that incline and push to finally meet more friends because it's their last year
Damn.
of college. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I can network, I can work on things post grad, but I can also make that time to like go out, like meet friends, hang out with friends, make
Yeah.
memories. So I feel like you can kind of mirror that to like, for example, senior year of high school. That was where we had the push and people had the push to be like, let me go
Have
do these events, have
fun.
fun. I think
Yeah.
that's a lot of what seniors at our college and also every other university probably go through, which kind of is exciting for me. If anything, it's like, okay, I know senior year, I'm gonna like be like, let me do all these things and like hang
I
out with these
hope
people. I hope at
so.
least.
Because I feel like
I don't
already
know.
now, like, I feel like already now it's like I already am like super tunnel vision junior year.
Like
I'm
academically?
career wise,
Yeah,
all
okay.
of that academically career. I've like academically since day one in college. I've been tunnel vision with that, but
Mm-hmm.
career wise, like planning ahead, like let me think ahead of what I'm going to do post grad because I want to know by the time I step foot outside LMU campus, I know where I'm going. I know what job I'm gonna have. I know what career I'm gonna have. All of that. At least I know I want to have some sort of direction of where that's going. So that's kind of what I'm preparing right now for, which is also kind of bad. So I should enjoy my time. I know I'm gonna regret it saying, "Why didn't you enjoy your junior year?"
Yeah,
Like,
yep. I always tell you that. Not saying that I don't understand your perspective and I don't partially agree because I do partially agree to where it's like the end goal of my college career and the end goal as in like for my undergrad career and the end goal of like just where I'm at now in this chapter is like I want to get out of college and have a job and like have like
and
you know
you
what I
know how
mean?
crazy that people say like at this point, like in life, like we've reached a phase where
You don't
people
even
say,
know if you're gonna
no,
get a
you
job.
don't even know if you're gonna get a job. People are like, I just hope I get a job.
Yeah.
Before it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out of college and like explore my options and see like what works
Yeah.
for me. But now it's like, I need to get a job because I need to
Because
survive.
the job market in our generation is
It's
obviously
cooked.
worse than
It's
any other.
cooked.
So it's like,
About I saw a TikTok of a guy like just from the get go, like I opened my For You page and the guy was saying like the job market is cooked. Why did I just see a video of a woman who has 10 plus years experience in tech sales? She lost her job, got laid off. She applied hundreds of positions and got no interview or just got nowhere. And to the point where she tried to apply to Trader Joe's and Trader Joe's
yeah,
rejected her because they're so backlogged. They can't even accept someone in tech sales for a literal entry level position because of how everyone's fighting to get a job at this point.
but yeah, I think also a hefty reason why I am sad about being a junior who's about to be a senior in college is because I actually enjoy being a student. Both of us can relate to that. We enjoy
Mm-hmm.
being students and we enjoy the educational process and journey, which is why it's actually interesting because I was proposed or still am proposed with the option of graduating a semester early. And I've been grappling with like, do I do it and like maybe seek out other opportunities after having that, semester free and doing other things like career wise or like externships, internships, whatever you want to call them. Um, or being in school and enjoying that senior year and that last semester of college as well. Because me, Colin, and I actually we can say we enjoyed our college experience
Absolutely
and like
did.
we enjoy being a student. So to me, it's like I feel like I don't necessarily lose anything having that semester like still with me, if that makes sense. Especially
Yeah.
because I'm not a person who's rushing to get it. Like if I was another person, like we know we have
Yeah.
friends who literally would like jump
We
at
have
that
friends that are graduating a year early in other
because they just
schools.
don't really want to
They
care
don't
to
want
be
to
there.
continue. They just don't care.
Yeah,
I think it's different
yeah,
when you truly find joy in the school you're at. You enjoy every moment you're in it. And when you truly also feel like you've gained and you are gaining, actively gaining so many opportunities while being in
yeah.
school, like I think specifically, we at this point we need to get a check from LMU for how much times we endorse this school. But I'm gonna say it again, genuinely, this school I never thought like just so many opportunities it truly gives
For
people
sure.
for us, and we've seen it with our peers and friends as well. unlike many other schools. So that's also makes us want to stay too, or you want to stay as well. It's like, what, you don't even know what could happen in one more semester. You don't know what can
That's
happen.
my thing. It's like, okay, yeah, let's say like I do graduate a semester early and I gotta start like applying like or getting myself to apply to like grad school and getting my master's. Imagine how much could happen in one semester of still being at LMU.
Imagine what happened in the last semester for us. Like, think
I
about
feel like
that.
also me calling it always like every single semester I feel like something monumental has happened to us, which is why I'm like, nah, I gotta like literally just utilize every like semester I have at LMU. I feel like I don't know.
Honestly, I was kind of like, when she was talking to us and our family about this, I kind of was, in the beginning, I was super like, go do it early, because in my opinion, I thought of like, if you graduate early, that gives you X amount of months to get a head start and getting a job or an internship or whatever career. Like 6 months, it would be 6 months you're saving. 6 months, you could do so much career advancements by then. So much. Or just spend the extra time really researching and figuring out which school you actually want to go to.
That's the like benefit I see in that, because there's so much, think about it, there's so many schools in this US, even in the world, that you can go to, and I'm like,
yeah, you can even go abroad, you can go anywhere. So I'm like,
yeah.
and I think especially for masters, you genuinely have to choose wisely of what school you go to.
I think we've always known that since high school. We're like,
yeah,
okay, like, and I think our dads told us the same thing. He's like, okay, undergrad is one thing. Masters, where you have a concentration in something,
you have to choose the best school.
You have to choose like a really good school, like for you. Not necessarily. It's not like you have to kill yourself to get into like Harvard or something.
No,
like, you like have to choose the best school for you if you're going to do like a higher ed.
And also, I think just choose the school that really is known for that master's. You shouldn't choose a random school that offers it. Like, you need to choose. It doesn't have to be like a top 3 school, hopefully, but like it doesn't have to be. But just choose a school that specializes in it very well. Like, for example, USC for journalism.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like, I don't know other schools. Oh, like Northwestern is really good for journalism. I'm gonna let y'all in on a secret. What? I'm airing myself out so bad, but if you see me with my hair slicked back, whether that's in school or filming this podcast or anywhere, that is a measure of how burned out I am. Because Melody knows, everybody knows, especially freshman year, sophomore year, you rarely saw me with my hair tied back. I always had my curly hair out. Never missed a week. And if y'all know, curly-headed people, it takes minimum 2 hours. Minimum 2 hours to like, because for me, I like literally intricately like finger coil my hair and make sure everything looks moisturized. But like the pro of it though is like, if you spend like 4 hours one day doing your curly hair, you can really like
it
put
lasts.
it in a scarf and it lasts like a week.
Yeah.
There's times where it lasts like a cute minute, and like if you really take the time to do it. But point is, if my hair is slicked back, I'm going through it. I'm kidding. I'm not going through it, but like, I just like really like I'm just super exhausted.
Like, you're trying to spare yourself for a little bit, just kind of just put it back to not deal with it.
I can't. It's been like, I've been having my hair tied back for like a week, and I usually never do that. Usually it's like, oh, like 1 day, 2 days. This time, like, I'm exhausted.
But it's not like it's jail braids. Like, it looks nice. So it's
no, jail braids is crazy. So for today's episode, we were like brainstorming like last week about ideas. We juggled around some topics, but ultimately we thought it'd be a really good idea to talk about living separate.
Because I think we prefaced that, like, at least in the first episode or second episode.
The first episode we mentioned,
we said like we're filming in
my dorm
now.
Oh, well, the first episode was in my room. The rest
and then we
are in
changed
his apartment.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, if y'all don't know, we don't live together. We don't.
And saying that is shocking to us, because I don't think we ever really would have expected this to be the case until maybe post-grad.
Literally post-grad.
So yeah, we don't live together, and we haven't been living together. It feels like it's just like some like separation thing.
There's divorced.
We haven't been living together since the beginning of junior year, because I mean, we'll get into it. I guess
it's a whole story time thing, but
yeah,
I guess we could start about the fact that we've literally grew up living in we shared a room like from like our entire childhood. A lot of kids, a lot of twins, share rooms. We shared a room all the way until middle school. Middle school, we moved to a different city, and then we got our own rooms from there, because our parents were like, okay, you guys are in middle school, you are maturing, like you can get your own room. So we had our own rooms, but either way, we were living next door, so it didn't matter. Our doors were always open. We would walk into each other's
Very much
rooms.
Elsa and Anna, like, do you
Oh
want to build a
yeah,
snowman?
literally, that's a good way to put it, like that. So yeah, we always like were around each other and stuff. Same thing in high school. We were in the same house, had our own rooms, whatever. So college, our parents were so happy because we committed to the same school, and they were like,
That was
"Yes, like
ideal for
y'all
them.
are gonna be living together, and we're gonna make this all so fun and whatever."
Yeah.
So it was cute. Like I feel like we never had the fear of like, people were posting like, "I'm looking for a roommate over the summer." Like,
And
nah.
I always tell I always tell my mom, anybody, I'm always like, if that's not one of the biggest blessings, I don't know what
Oh my
is. Because we've heard
god.
so many horror stories from our friends online, anywhere, or just in general. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to seek out for roommates because you have to do
You
that,
have
but
to
I'm
have a
saying like
roommate.
just the vulnerability of that, trying to figure out who's a fit for you, who's not, that whole
Especially
DM
freshman year.
process.
Especially freshman year, I feel like.
Yeah, I
And
know. Ugh.
because like it's like the freshman year is like defining year of like how you feel about college.
Would
And
you trust to like find a roommate on Instagram? Would you want to like be in a program and then meet a roommate through there or something like that?
if
Like,
I had the ability to go through a program, I would meet them through a program.
yeah.
I'd rather meet them in person. But if I had to choose,
Or
I
like
would
a
do
tour or
online.
something like that. Don't you think like if you
They
toured
have the thing is
campus?
they have events. I think it might be for sophomores and juniors and whatever. But they have a thing where it's like roommate like
Mingling?
socials.
Okay.
They have that. They have a thing like that on our campus. But I
Because
don't
for
think
me, it's like, I'm sorry, Instagram can only tell you so much.
yeah, Instagram is fake. Like you don't really know like people's true character on Instagram, which is like. But at the end of the day, like if you find someone with like similar interests to you, I guess that's what you gotta
Bite
do.
the bullet, yeah.
But I was never, for me, I would never do a randomize.
No.
Hell
No. The thing is, we
Randomized?
did technically do a random though.
That was
Our
one person in our apartment. That was
yeah,
different. But so freshman year, we lived in Palm North, best freshman dorm on campus.
best freshman. Well,
When
first
I
of all,
tell
one of the
you,
best
dorms
dorms
on
on campus.
campus. It's the
Period.
nicest, one of the nicest ones. Literally, I remember the whole process of like where every school you rank your dorms and stuff like that. We were like, we saw online, like LMU had very, very minimal coverage on YouTube of like what dorms look like.
Yeah.
At the time, Palm North was just built maybe 2 years
before.
before.
2 years before.
So it was very new. All we knew was that it was new. We only found 2 photos of Palm North. It was those like, it was like what is it called? Like blueprint photos. It's like not real people, but it shows what the construction will look like, and it shows like fake
the projected image.
kind of project. So we saw a projected image. It looked like it was like I was like something I would want to live post grad kind of place.
That's the best way to describe it. It's like literally like a complex you'd want to rent out as an adult.
Like they had like was it like foosball? They had an amazing kitchen, amazing common area. It just looked so nice, and we were like, I was in tunnel vision, like it's only this or nothing.
Oh yeah,
there was no
we're very stubborn about that. We were like, I do not care. There's no shot we're not getting this.
I don't even remember what our second choice might have been. Del Rey.
I think Del Rey.
Every night, my only prayer was that I prayed to God we get Palm North. I swear to God, every night I prayed.
Yeah.
I even told our mom, please pray for us.
I was like, please pray for us.
As if it was like a college decision. Like it's not that serious. But I'm like, please, because like
okay, but it's worth noting the disparity on campus in terms of like the dorms.
Oh yeah.
The only reason why we're genuinely pleading for Palm North is because the other options on campus are so bad, and that's one. I don't want to even like put LMU like in the dirt or whatever, but like that's one con LMU genuinely has, that a lot of the dorms are very outdated.
Yeah,
it's not. It's like literally abnormal how outdated it is compared to
Palm
North.
It's actually.
So that's why we're like, I don't care. I'm not gonna like have my freshman year experience living in
and
like,
also like paying for like something that you could pay for something like even better. Like what the heck? You get that. So when we got our decisions, like you've been placed in Palm North. I remember I screamed. Mom was like, yelling. Oh my God. Mom was like, what's going on? I'm like, I got it. We got a Palm North. I think you were asleep.
Oh my
I was awake.
God,
it was during an random afternoon during the summer.
Yeah.
You were asleep. I was awake. I was like, oh my God, we got Palm North. I was like, can you calm down? Like what? But I was so happy. Freshman year was amazing. Our room was small, but I really did love our experience.
It had AC. That's all I care about.
Especially you. You're obsessed with having cold.
And even if like, for example, we're going to talk about our experience also living in an on-campus apartment. We had like it sometimes worked the AC in our on-campus apartment.
It was
Sometimes
mainly the
the
heat that
heat, but I
worked.
literally slept with a fan on my side so much, and Miko's the opposite. But like we still like made it work.
I like feeling like now I use my AC a lot more, but I feel like I don't like feeling like I'm freezing when I'm
I just love being
sleeping.
cold. I will always say, would you not rather be cold or would you
And
rather
have
be sweating to death?
blankets.
Why
I
not? Why?
guess.
Why would anyone rather be sweating so? I don't understand. If you're cold, just put a blanket and jacket on. I get it.
I
Sometimes you
get
can be really
that. I
cold,
just sweat. Like, I
but
feel like I like like a heat, like a hot flash when you're sleeping.
yeah, but that's like
But
yeah.
at the same time, I'm hypocritical because I sleep with actually the heat on most nights in my room. So it's a good thing we don't live together because you would be pissed.
I could not do it. I could
So
not do it. We lived on in an apartment on
our
campus
sophomore
our sophomore year,
year,
which was, mind you, we intentionally picked that exact apartment on campus that had the direct view of the bluff.
which you can see like LA, all of
Yeah,
LA, like a skyline kind of view.
yeah.
Because at least for our school, you're able to like when you decide housing,
I'm assuming most schools have that.
you can pick whichever specific space you want. So we had like looked specifically in this apartment building on campus, and we were like,
We were outside the building. We were on the bluff view. We
we
look
were
at the
like counting the
window.
windows, like
We're
okay,
like,
this
okay, this has a
window,
good view. We go
this one.
inside. We look at the room number. We're like, okay, we're applying for this one. I get the earliest time slot. I'm like, it was 9 a.m. I'm like, I do not care. I don't care. God's watching me. I will get this exact room. I
And
will get this
indeed
exact
we
room.
did.
And we did.
Indeed we did. And
And
honestly,
it
it was the best experience.
it was the best experience because of the view and how I just feel like that made the vibe even better. And also, it was just an amazing experience having an on-campus apartment. I think it's a huge privilege to be able to like one cook
Have your
in
own
your in
food.
on campus. You can cook and be like, okay, I'm gonna go to class now.
Oh my god,
Like,
I cooked all the time when I was living in that apartment. I truly loved it, and I think like it was just the right amount of space, in my opinion.
yeah,
It
I
was
totally
spacious to
agree.
me, but it wasn't
It
like too
was,
large.
yeah.
And I feel like it was super cute, like having friends come over, and it was convenient because like our friends all lived on campus still at the time. So like it was a cool little chill spot for our friends and stuff. So it was cute, but R.I.P. Levy 206.
Yeah.
We're not living together anymore. And no, it's not because we hate each other or because of some
No.
fallout or this, that, whatever. It happened very unexpectedly.
Yeah.
So we knew after sophomore year, we were like, our second half of college, we're going to live off campus.
No, we literally always had that intention where it was like, we're gonna have our dorm experience like the first 2 years, and then when we actually become more of adults, like 2021 plus whatever, we're gonna live off campus. We're gonna have a car, like we're gonna be experiencing LA, like whatever. But
yeah, so I don't even know how the series of events happened, but it was okay. This was like winter break of sophomore year. I was talking to one of our friends, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna apply to become an RA," and I'm like, oh, "Okay, that's cool, whatever." Like we were like hanging out. I'm like, "Okay, that's cool, whatever." And he was like, "Oh, like you should apply," and I'm like, "I never thought of applying, but like, but I was like, nah, I have no shot. Like, they say the hardest position to get on campus is RA. Like, what the heck?" So I'm like, nah, like, I'm like, I'll let you know, maybe. At the time, you had a position where you couldn't apply to become an RA.
yeah,
So she was already like, didn't think about it.
yeah.
But our mom always wanted us to apply to become an RA since we joined LMU. She always was like, you have to become an RA, like go apply to become an RA. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm fit for that though. So I decided.
I told you, I was like, you should just try, like just
yeah.
try.
So I decided, I'm like, okay, if our friend's gonna apply, I'll apply with him. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna apply, whatever. So I applied. Oh, I didn't think anything of it. I think it was a couple weeks later. It says, congratulations, you made it through the first round. You have a interview. Select your day. I'm like, oh, I'm like, okay, this is serious. Okay, this is serious, I guess. So I'm like, oh, okay. We were still talking about off-campus housing at this time.
Yeah, we're not letting that stop us. Like
we were in February of sophomore year, so this is a time where people were literally actively looking for housing.
Yeah.
So the interview was in February. So I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, you know what? Even if I get rejected, we'll get off-campus housing. We'll have.
It was
car.
like a win-win. Like it was like, okay, whatever.
So I'm like, it's fine. One random, I think it was maybe a Wednesday or a Tuesday. I'm sitting in our apartment. on campus. I see an email, and it's like I open on like the Outlook, and it opens saying like, "Congratulations!" I'm like, no! I literally react like I won the lottery. I'm like, oh, because I literally never thought I'd get it. Fast forward a bit later, got my housing placement, and it was a single dorm. A single dorm. And
I
yeah.
I literally was like, because our whole thing was like, we thought even if she does get the RA position, she will likely or maybe could have the chance of like having a roommate
I
or
thought that was gonna
living. I don't
happen.
know. I don't know what we thought.
I don't
We
know.
just
We really didn't know
yeah,
much.
we didn't really know much about
So
like I don't know what I don't know. But I was just like,
yeah.
maybe there's a shot that like I could live with her if she had an apartment or like a roommate style like situation. No.
Yeah.
So I was like, ooh.
So I was like, dang, like this is like we were really at like a position where we are really confused on what to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I might have put us in an even worse position than me not being an RA. So I was like, ugh.
When Mikal got her placement and her housing, that was kind of when I was like, okay, time to find roommates. Like that was like where my process began, where I had to look for different housing and roommates. But the cards fell in place, and it was not very hard for me to like figure out my living situation. Thank God. But it didn't erase the fact that we weren't living together. And even though I could find roommates easily, it was honestly becoming a nightmare in our house because my dad specific or our dad specifically was very, very, very adamant. He first of all he was very unhappy that I didn't get housing on campus because even if Mikal was an RA, he would still be content if I lived on campus. He'd
Oh,
be like,
that was the
fine.
plan. He was
Yeah.
like, okay, she's an RA, but you're gonna get campus housing. But we were like, we're gonna be juniors. Juniors and seniors is very hard to get housing.
And I applied. Let's see, like
yeah,
factual.
you
I
didn't
really
get
applied.
housing.
Yeah, I applied. I didn't get housing. But he was very upset because the worst case scenario for my parents was
Off campus housing.
off campus housing in LA because y'all are gonna get the pattern now. They see LA like, oh my, like literally a war zone. Like
yeah,
oh
my god, like anything could happen, and like please,
like please,
like it's fine.
We're
like,
literally like the location of our school.
It's a very solemn area.
It's a very nice area. But yeah, my dad was very upset, but he was like, okay, if you're gonna live off campus, it needs to be like an inch from campus.
I think it was
an
floored.
inch from the back gate.
I was floored because he literally said when he talked to us, like we were like, this was we approached the summer at this point trying to find housing. It was up to the end of summer we found housing, but he was saying like there's no exceptions. You have to live a half a mile or less from campus.
Yeah,
we're like, what?
and like that basically means
it's a very narrow
any
option.
of the like homes that are literally right outside campus. I don't know.
There was really like, we were like really skeptical, like wondering like because usually like the homes that are around our campus are like people who are in service orgs, sororities,
or older
folks. People.
Yeah,
it's usually like an LMU affiliated housing kind of thing.
And I didn't end up like settling on a place that was in the back gates of campus, but it's still close enough, but it kind of would
to the point where you would need a car.
The summer before freshman year of college, I got my license. So I was barely like a new driver entering college. So I was like, you know what? It's fine if I don't get the car like freshman year, like it's whatever because like we just, started driving, whatever. Well, yeah, Mikal doesn't have her license.
I guess at some point I'd have to admit it on here. Yeah, I don't have my license. 21 with no license. I know.
Oh well.
And it's not because of like, I failed or I this. First of all, if anything, I got my permit before she did.
Yeah, she did.
I got my permit in COVID. I passed the first time. I literally studied in 20 minutes and passed. I have a lot of anxiety behind the wheel. Like Melody knows, like our dad signed us up for lessons during COVID. I almost like had a panic attack. I think it's because shortly before we started driving, we were in an accident.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a huge one, but it was like I was in the front, like I was in the passenger seat, and like it was pretty like shaky or whatever. But I just never gained like the confidence to want to go to the DMV and take the exam. I've practiced before and things like that, but like I just get so much anxiety because I'm always like,
Driving is not for everyone anyway, so.
oh, but I'm gonna get the license though. Like I'm actually,
I
I'm
mean,
getting.
yeah.
I always say, y'all. I literally come back here and call me out if I'm wrong. I'm getting it this summer. There's just no shot. I'm getting it.
We begged our dad for a car.
So long.
Or we've always had a car. We've had a car, but
we had a car in sophomore year.
Yeah.
So sophomore year we had a car. Sophomore year passes. First semester, nope. Second semester, nope.
I felt like I was lying to everybody because I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm bringing my car next semester."
People didn't believe. People that were lying, like we had a car.
They thought we were making up, like we had that. We were making up that we had a car.
Like I promise you have a car. We have
because
a car.
Every time our parents gave us false hope, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Next semester. Nope. Junior year, I was like, this might be my shot because I'm living on campus and like, hello, like, no.
First semester, nope.
I literally, mind you, okay, I had the chance and the opportunity and like, I have the leisure to Uber wherever I want because like, I can use my money and I'm also privileged. Like, let's say like, I don't freaking know if I have anything in my bank account.
Like our parents could help to do
I do have money. Yeah, but if I just say like I wanted to ask my parents, they'd be like, oh yeah, if you don't want to walk, we can pay for you.
Yeah.
But I walked to and from school at least, I would say 60% of the school year. My parents saw it as a pro because they wanted to like
you're getting active.
Habit. They wanted to instill the habit and us to be like, okay, go walk.
You're getting active, getting your steps in.
Every single Habesha African, whatever it is going to be like, I walk 3 miles every day to school.
I walk 10 miles to school.
Damn, we get it.
It's like, oh my God.
Like, we cannot use that excuse in front of our dad or mom because if we're like, oh my God, like, I don't want to walk 15 minutes to school, they're going to be like,
when I was in school, I walked 10 miles with no break and with no water up the hills and forests, in the forest and this and
like, bro, please, I'm so sorry.
That's a typical like Habesha response.
It's typical,
Habesha
African
response. But
lo and behold, we finally got our car,
drove it down.
This semester.
Shout out to our dad, he drove it down.
Yeah,
with us from the Bay to LA.
Yeah.
So now,
it's been like
this semester we have a car.
It's been. Can you attest? Like it's been a full like.
It's very beneficial, truly. Like in many aspects, more than you could think.
They're fearful for us, which rightfully so. It's like bring a car into a city that's like
LA's like.
Do you know how many times I've driven with Nicole in LA? She's seen me almost get this car body slammed. Like literally. Like I'm literally swerving the car and like she knows I have to do it for our sake. I'm not even doing it just to kill us. I'm just like literally have to.
LA has one of the worst drivers I've ever seen in my life.
It has. It literally.
Truly,
there's
I'm
no
shocked.
question.
I'm shocked that these people are passing the driving exam.
Oh no! I always tell Nicole, I'm like, these people definitely are illegally driving. I'm sorry.
Or illegally driving. It's unbelievable. Truly, like
that's why I always say getting home safe is an underrated blessing.
It's a blessing.
I literally have to hold on to dear life when I'm driving down like downtown, down like. I don't even know.
For me, no. If I'm gonna go downtown, I'm Ubering. I don't care.
Yeah.
The parking is trash anyway.
It is. So now we're doing even more with a car in LA, and I think like that's also ways we've managed to spend time together, even with living apart. Since like even though like I don't even know if I mentioned in this episode, like I literally sleep in Nicole's dorm so much. Yeah. Not like every day, but like there are times, especially like. We have an exam
because we have 2 classes together.
Yeah, we have 2 classes together.
So one of which is in the mornings. So out of convenience, like why would you want to drive? And I guess we can get to segue from that about talking about pros and cons of living separate on campus versus off campus. Because I already can name some cons for you at least.
Because I'm always complaining about it.
Because especially when it comes to like having to get yourself to and from school. Something I'm like, at least I would say I really love when it comes to being an RA and living on campus is like, I can wake up and walk to class. Like, hello? If I'm late, I can do a little jog, do a little speed walk.
And people off campus cannot relate.
Whew, because
Thank God I live close enough to campus, but like,
yeah,
imagine like we have friends who have to literally drive 10 minutes plus, 15 minutes plus,
and they have to end up
and
skipping.
account that traffic, huh?
They have to end up skipping
Yeah,
class.
because
There's no
finding a parking spot.
parking. The campus parking is
Oh my
so
God.
bad.
Oh my God.
So bad.
And
So
I thought,
bad.
I was like, maybe it's an exaggeration. Like, if you're on time, you can. No.
It's horrific.
Even
It's
if
horrific.
you're on time, I was doing donuts literally in the parking lot. I was on the phone because I think I almost cried. I was like, I cannot believe I've been circling this parking lot. I cannot find
At
one
this
spot.
point, it's like, what are we paying for?
Who knows?
I thought a parking
knows?
permit guaranteed you had a spot, not that you would have to circle the block for 30 minutes.
I will literally sleep over in Mikal's dorm if it means I will have a secured parking spot for the next day.
100%.
So like if it means my car can stay overnight.
Even I tell Melody, I'm like, there's no point in driving back home. It's already like 11 or like midnight.
Yeah,
like we have class in the morning. You want to drive back home just to fight for parking in the morning?
No.
Forget it. A massive con for me living on campus is that I don't have my own kitchen anymore. I don't have my own kitchen anymore. And like I mentioned earlier, I really do enjoy cooking. It's something that I like picked up within the last 2 years that I really love doing. And also, I just don't like eating campus food. I'm somebody where I like to have a variety of options. And like campus, you could say they have things, but like if you've been, for us, we've gone to school here for 3 years. We've tried everything at this point. Like I'm done. So I really do miss the leisure of like being able, like even when we had an apartment sophomore year, like being able to go to my apartment and then like cook whatever I want to cook on my fridge. I'd be so happy if I had my own kitchen. Cause it's so funny because all the other RAs I know are like, all I care about is having my own bathroom. Like I don't, like, because not all RAs get their own bathroom, so I'm lucky to have my own bathroom. But
so would you? So you'd rather have?
No,
Would you rather have a kitchen, or would you rather have your own bathroom?
My own bathroom, unless I know the person I'm sharing it with.
I thought actually another pro is like, well, it sounds like I'm leeching off Mikal, my bad. But literally, the pro of Mikal being an RA, you just mentioned food, is that she has her meal plan money, and I mentioned saying that I'm always like sleeping in her dorm and like the blow up air mattress. So like when I'm there, I must like let me tap her card
all the time.
because she has meal plan money because she's an RA. So I get food on campus.
You can get like any
order
snack,
food,
hella snacks, drinks,
yeah, literally. So that is
such a nice accommodation for that. Like getting, like not having to worry about like, because it's a good amount of money. It's worry about like, oh no, like I don't have enough to budget the money. Like I still have some money.
Bro, she's literally buying for the both of us.
I'd be buying for my friend. I just bought for my friend today.
Yeah, and she still has mad money.
I recommend anyone to like apply being an RA, to become an RA. I think it's a great experience. Honestly, really helped me mature as a person. I feel like you make more impact than you think. You really never know. You really do make more of an impact than you think. And it's a great learning experience personally. So
yeah, that's kind of our experience living independently as twins who've always lived together our whole lives and how we've navigated that. And yeah, I mean, it's been like a somewhat interesting, somewhat difficult process, especially with this podcast and also being very close. But like I said, I'm always in her dorm anyways. So
we will find a way. We always find a way. So
yeah, I guess we're going to segue to our last segment as we always do.
Yes. First of all, if you're up to this point of the episode, thank y'all. We appreciate it because we've been yapping for a bit, but hope you enjoyed it.
Please subscribe to this channel.
If you're watching and not
I feel like we don't preface that like we want y'all to subscribe.
Yeah, if you are watching and not subscribing at this point, like what are you doing? Please better click that right now. Thank you. Anyways, so yeah, we're gonna segue to the last segment, which is what are you into? It can be music, what have you been reading online, something you found funny, what you've been obsessed with.
Literally, this was a few days ago. I was in Trader Joe's. I think it's Maria Del Rey Trader Joe's.
I'm already laughing because it's just so funny story.
Yeah, I literally was. Yeah, I was leaving. Before I was leaving, there was a car next to me. If y'all have heard like electric cars, you know when it backs up, it makes a very interesting noise.
Before we even say it, what does that remind you of? What sound of that electric car backing up? I know y'all know what we're talking about. There's a specific sound it makes.
Yeah, it literally sounds like you're being summoned. It literally sounds like you're being summoned, literally like towards
Like
heaven.
levitating.
Yeah. Like I literally jolted. I was like this.
Who thought of that? Whoever made that had to be on something crazy. Because
I don't know what's
what
wrong
made
with
you think like why that sound out of all sounds
I don't know.
made you want to indicate that you're backing up? I don't understand. I don't understand. We heard it on campus in the garage, and I just started laughing. I'm like, it's just
you might as well have a red carpet rolled out. It's so extravagant. The sound is
It just
like,
sounds like
it's letting everyone know you're backing up. Like we get it, we hear you.
And it echoes like, like it's crazy. I can never unhear it.
Yeah,
I think that's so funny.
That was hilarious, and I was like, I feel like I want to mention that on the podcast because that's just so random. Mikal put me on Temptation Island, which it's very trashy. Like it's like a very, very trashy dating reality TV.
The new one is even more trashy. I told you the old ones are so entertaining. I like the old ones, but there's a new one on Netflix. Y'all probably have seen it because it's been like talked about
on TikTok or something.
It's on TikTok too. I've only watched two episodes. It's just so like, it gives me influencer vibe. I don't know.
And for those who don't know the show, it's basically existing couples who've been together for like a year, maybe 2 years maximum, or 3 years maybe, I don't know. And they go on the show to basically test their relationship, and they each are split into like different houses. Like the girls are in all like the girls who are in relationships now go into a house with guys who are all single, and vice versa. So the guys who are in a relationship are all in a house with the girls who are just completely single, and basically they're going to be tempted, like they're like going to be like seeing if they fall for lust, or like they're going to be loyal to their boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. It's a hot mess.
It's
and
messy.
I don't know who signs up for these shows. I don't know.
If you sign up for the show to begin with, break up, because I don't think that
break up. I don't know.
Why would you even need to be put under a test like that to question your potential as a couple?
And also, I think, isn't it embarrassing to be on TV and being
That's why I feel like a lot of them do it for followers.
Yeah, I think it's all a follower gimmick thing. Because I feel like, would you not be embarrassed being a couple being like, hey, we're gonna be tested on like national television, and let's see if my boyfriend doesn't cheat on me, and he's literally kissing 9
times out of 10 they do.
Yeah, I really just saw the episode. He was, bro.
Oh, you've been watching?
The guy, yeah, the guy. He cheated on his girlfriend. He kissed. Oh, you didn't watch. Sorry.
No, I mean, it can be anybody. Sorry. I just have not even seen them in the house.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I've actually been watching, but I actually want to ask you: would you be on a show like Temptation Island, or like how much? Not even that, because I know you're gonna say no. Hold on. No. How much would someone have to pay you to be on a show like Temptation Island, Love Island, any of that?
Temptation Island, throw that out the window because that's never happened.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Love Island, I love the show. I love the show. I just don't think I'd ever apply. I just feel personally, for me, first of all, I feel like I'm already like a private person. I wouldn't want to like broadcast a relationship,
my dating life on TV.
Top of that, it's just like, oh my god, the judgment I know we would receive, especially within our own communities, insane. I was telling Melody, I've been so hooked on Hurry Up Tomorrow again.
Oh my god.
It makes me honestly
love Hurry Up Tomorrow, but it's by the weekend, by the way.
Yeah, it makes me upset that this album really didn't make, it has a lot of streams, but
commercial
it didn't
success.
Make commercial success. Like, literally, oof. I love the song Enjoy the Show.
Oh my god,
Enjoy the Show, Future. It's one of the best weekend songs I've heard in years.
That's new with The Abyss, with Lana Del Rey.
Oh, The Abyss, and then Baptized in Fear.
Woo!
I love
Take
that
Me Back
song.
to LA.
Yes.
Oh my god, that album is just, it's crazy.
And Giving Up on Me, the first half.
Yeah, Giving Up on Me.
But Enjoy the Show is, Cry for Me Too. Enjoy the Show is a song that I've been listening to so much.
I just really wonder, like, what was it for people that did not allow it to make that commercial success in comparison to literally, even some tracks on Dawn FM have had massive success. These ones are still like, we're waiting for that one track to seriously take off. I think it's also because
Hurry Up Tomorrow didn't really have air. There's an era because there's a movie coming out, but there wasn't, like, for example, where he has like, he's dressed up in a way. and
Or pushing out a
he's
lot of music
pushing out music videos
videos.
and appearances. Like he's not really
Mm-hmm.
doing that. He's letting the movie speak for itself.
Yeah.
Maybe when the movie comes out, the album will do very well.
Yeah.
Honestly, but I enjoy the show with Future. I absolutely love the production. Mike Dean is a
He's
visionary.
insane.
He's insane. So I absolutely love it.
Okay, so you made it to the end of the episode. Thank you so much for sticking around and hanging with us.
Yes.
And do not forget to subscribe if you're watching on the YouTube channel. And also hit the follow button on the Spotify if you're listening on there. And
And follow the Instagram.
yes, we have it always
Yes.
linked in our description. So go tap in with that. And yeah, we will see you guys in our next episode.
Bye.